No woman with an ounce of self-respect would let her partner call her that. So cringe, my God.
For heaven's sake, can we please provide some context before you launch into your usual tirade? That's from a reader review, not the actual text, though the sentiment is understandable.
Context? The context is cringe. Welcome back to Heart Book Radio. Folks, the only book show that tells you if a book is worth the paper it's print on, or just expensive kindling.
And I'm Dr. Evelyn Reed. Today we're dissecting Ooze on the Moon by Alice Kellen, a book someone apparently thinks is solely about terrible pet names.
It's not just about that. It's also about a guy one reviewer called, and I quote, the junkie astronaut who spins more than a merry-go-round. This Kellen lady, apparently she just loves writing couples who are basically each other's walking rehab centers.
That's a rather reductive take. The book explores themes of connection across distance, personal growth, finding oneself. It's about Ginger and Ruz, who meet briefly in Paris and then maintain a relationship primarily through emails over several years. It's meant to be poignant.
Poignant. It's the literary equivalent of watching paint dry while someone occasionally screams about the moon. Remember when we discussed The Little Prince? You loved that pretentious trash, and this book is dripping with it. Oh, look at the moon. I feel close to you now. Jag me with a space helmet.
The Little Prince is a classic fable about human connection, something clearly lost on some people, and the moon metaphor in this book symbolizes their enduring bond, despite the physical separation and Ruz's complexities.
Complexities. Is that what we're calling being a flaky, emotionally unavailable DJ with commitment issues deeper than the Mariana Trench? This Rise character makes my neighbor Gary, the one who collects lawn gnomes and thinks squirrels are government spies, look like a well-adjusted member of society.
Rise is flawed, certainly. He struggles with restlessness, perhaps even substance issues hinted at in trigger warnings, but he's also portrayed as vulnerable, searching. He's the archetypal tortured artist.
Yeah.
Readers connect with his lights and shadows.
Oh, spare me the artsy-fartsy talk. He's a walking red flag factory. He urgently, as one reviewer put it, not a girlfriend he can emotionally yo across continents. And Ginger, bless her heart, starts off broke. Flies to Paris after a breakup, which? Okay, points for drama, but then she spends years pining over this guy via email. Get a grip, woman. Is she finding herself? Or just orbiting his black hole of needness?
Ginger's journey is one of self-discovery. She starts feeling lost, yes, perhaps a bit naive, goody-goody, as some might say, but she grows. Her patience, her willingness to see the good in Ruz, it's a testament to her capacity for empathy, even if some readers interpret it as lacking self-respect. Calling her an unbearable buzzkill is wildly unfair.
Empathetic or an enabler? Tomato, tomato? And let's not forget the adult scenes. People mention. Probably just Ruz whispering more moon nonsense while fumbling with a Metro Kit machine. If she wanted, she could touch the moon with her fingers. Smooth Casanova, real smooth. I bet their emails were just pages of him whining and her offering armchair psychology she found online.
The intimacy of their correspondence is central to the narrative. It's where they build their connection, bare their souls.
Or where Ruz perfects his excuses. Look, is this book actually any good? Or is it just misery porn for people who love crying? Because the reviews are insane. You've got people saying, Elise, you've done magic. They want to read her shopping lists. And then you've got my personal hero who said, I give this terrible book 1 star only because you can't give 0. Yes. Finally, some honesty.
The emotional response is polarized. I grant you, many readers find it deeply moving, admitting they hadn't cried so much in a long time. They call the email exchanges magic, the ending, perfect. It clearly resonates with people who appreciate a slow burn, emotionally charged romance, even with its difficult themes.
Slow burn? More like a slow crawl towards inevitable disappointment. We got a Westner email asking, what's the worst pet name you've ever been called? Could it possibly be worse than Galita? Honestly, probably not. Unless someone called you, Rez?
That's hardly constructive. The book tackles the right person, wrong time trope, the complexities of loving someone flawed.
Okay, hypothetical time, Dr. Reed. If Ruz were a sandwich, what kind would he be?
What? That's utterly absurd. How is that relevant?
It's very relevant. He'd be one of those fancy, Overpriced panis that looks amazing on the menu, toasted sourdough, artisanal cheese, maybe some prosciutto, but when you bite into it, it's half empty, the cheese is cold vi, and it gives you indigestion for 3 days. All style, no substance, and ultimately unsatisfying.
While I fundamentally disagree with your culinary analogy, I concede the book isn't without its problematic elements. The portrayal of their dynamic could be seen as glorifying unhealthy codependency if interpreted uncharitably, but the writing itself has moments of beauty.
Beauty. Like watching a car crash in slow motion set to sad indie music. Okay, fine. Maybe the descriptions of Paris were okay. But the rest?
All right, time for the verdict. Despite predictable negativity, I appreciate the emotional depth Kellen attempts. It's flawed, yes. Rise is infuriating. Ginger's patience borders on saintly delusion, but it evokes strong feelings. I give it 6 out of 10 existential moon gazes, and it was still better than your analysis of The Little Prince.
Oh, here we go again. Look, this book may some meteorites would hit the moon. That's powerful. Powerful rage. I give views on the moon. 3 out of 30 answered emails from a flaky DJ. Read it if you enjoy frustration and questionable life choices.
Next week, we're tackling My Hamster, the Communist Spy, a Cold War Tale? Oh dear.
Yes, finally something with some substance. Probably till then, keep your pages turning and your standards reasonably high. This was Heart Book Radio.